In the world of finance and retirement planning, few topics stir up as much debate as the National Pension Scheme, or NPS. This isn't just a policy up for discussion in the boardrooms of financial institutions, but it's a conversation taking place in the homes of millions of Indians, particularly those employed by the government. Why, you might ask? Well, the National Pension Scheme has been a hotbed of controversy since its inception. The crux of the matter lies in its divergence from the traditional pension system, which had been in place for decades. This deviation has been a cause for concern and even discontent among a significant portion of government employees. Let's imagine for a moment a government servant who spent the better part of their life serving the nation. They've weathered the ups and downs, put in the hard yards, and now, as they approach the twilight of their career, they find themselves grappling with a new retirement system that they didn't sign up for. That's bound to ruffle some feathers, isn't it? And it's not just about change, which is often hard to swallow. It's about the perceived risks, uncertainties, and even potential disadvantages that this new system, the NPS, might bring. The concerns are real and the stakes are high, especially when it comes to something as crucial as one's post-retirement financial security. But here's the thing. The National Pension Scheme is not without its merits. In fact, it was designed with the intention of providing a robust and sustainable pension system for the 21st century, one that could withstand the pressures of an aging population and a changing economic landscape. Yet the controversy persists. To understand the root of this controversy, we need to delve into what the National Pension Scheme is and how it differs from the old pension scheme. The National Pension Scheme, a seemingly complex retirement solution, is actually quite simple when broken down. It's a government initiative launched in January of 2004 with the primary goal to provide retirement income to all the citizens of India. The scheme is essentially a voluntary defined contribution retirement savings program. Now let's delve into how it works. Anyone, whether they're a government employee or a private sector worker, between the ages of 18 and 65 can subscribe to the National Pension Scheme. They can make regular contributions throughout their working life, accumulating a retirement corpus. Post-retirement, the subscribers can withdraw a part of the corpus in a lump sum, and the remaining amount can be received as a monthly pension to secure their golden years. What makes this scheme unique is the investment model it follows. The contributions made by the subscribers are invested in various market instruments such as equities, government securities, and corporate bonds, and the returns are market-linked. This means the final amount you receive depends on how well your investments perform. The scheme promises to provide a sense of financial security and stability during the post-retirement phase, ensuring that you can maintain a decent standard of living even after you've stopped earning a regular income. It also offers tax benefits under Section 80C of the Income Tax Act, providing an additional incentive for individuals to invest. But what about the promise of the National Pension Scheme? Well, it aims to instill a habit of saving for retirement amongst the citizens. It's a step towards creating a pension society, ensuring a dignified life for all in their old age. This might seem like a great solution on the surface, but why then is it not universally accepted? Let's compare it to the old pension scheme to find out. The old pension scheme, fondly remembered by many, had its own unique charm and some drawbacks. Let's take a step back and walk through the corridors of time to revisit the old pension scheme. This scheme was a social security measure for government employees, promising them a life of dignity and financial security post-retirement. The key feature was the guaranteed pension, a certain percentage of the last drawn salary, which was an attractive proposition for those seeking stability and predictability. The old scheme worked on the basis of a defined benefit plan, meaning the retiree knew exactly what they would receive each month. It was a safety net, a promise of a comfortable life after years of dedicated service. The retirement funds were fully funded by the government, and there was no contribution required from the employee's end, which made it even more appealing. However, it was not without its limitations. The major drawback was the financial burden it placed on the government. With an increasing life expectancy and a growing number of retirees, the financial strain was becoming unsustainable. Another issue was the lack of portability. If an employee switched jobs, the benefits would not carry over, creating a sense of bondage. The old pension scheme also lacked transparency. The calculation of the pension amount was complex and often left the retirees confused and unsure about their financial future. It was also criticized for being inequitable, as it was only available to government employees and not to the vast majority of Indian workers. The old pension scheme, with its assurance of a steady income stream post-retirement, created a sense of security among government employees. However, its limitations and financial unsustainability led to the birth of the National Pension Scheme, a system designed to be more inclusive, sustainable, and transparent. With these two schemes laid bare, the question arises: why is the National Pension Scheme disliked by many government employees? The clash between the old and the new, the tried and the untested, is not a new phenomenon. And so it is with India's pension schemes. On one side, we have the venerable old pension scheme, a defined benefit plan that has been around for decades. On the other, we have the National Pension Scheme, a defined contribution plan that was introduced in 2004. The old pension scheme, or OPS, is what's known as a defined benefit plan. This means that the payout is predetermined regardless of how well the investment performs. It offers a sense of security and predictability, something that's highly valued by government employees. The OPS is also non-contributory for employees, which means they don't have to contribute a portion of their salary towards it. However, the downside is that it is funded by taxpayer money, which can put a strain on the nation's finances. The National Pension Scheme, or NPS, on the other hand, is a defined contribution plan. The payout depends on the performance of the investments made with the contributions. This could potentially lead to higher returns, but it also comes with a higher risk. With the NPS, employees are required to contribute a portion of their salary, which can be a deterrent for some. Plus, the NPS doesn't guarantee a fixed pension, which can make it less appealing to those who value financial security. So, why is the NPS disliked by some government employees? The answer lies in the uncertainty. The NPS's reliance on market performance introduces an element of risk that was absent in the OPS. Plus, the need to contribute part of their salary is a sticking point for many. Yet, we must remember that the NPS was introduced with the aim of creating a sustainable pension system. It sought to address the financial strain caused by the OPS and to introduce a sense of personal responsibility for retirement planning. While the debate rages on, it's important to remember that every financial decision comes with its own set of risks and rewards. Each individual must weigh these against their personal circumstances and future goals and choose the path that is best for them. In an interesting turn of events, some states have chosen to return to the old pension scheme. Now, you might ask, why the rollback? Well, it all boils down to a few key reasons. The first among these is the dissatisfaction among government employees with the National Pension Scheme. They felt that the old pension scheme offered more financial security, as it offered a guaranteed pension after retirement, unlike the market-linked National Pension Scheme. Secondly, the states observed that the National Pension Scheme was not as well received as they had hoped. The scheme's complexities and the lack of understanding among the employees made it less appealing. Also, the market volatility added to the concern, creating an environment of uncertainty that the old pension scheme did not possess. Another significant factor was the discontent among the employees regarding the contribution rate. Under the National Pension Scheme, employees had to contribute a higher percentage of their salary, which was not the case with the old pension scheme. This increased financial burden was not welcomed by many. Now let's look at the implications of this decision. On one hand, it has been welcomed by government employees who believe that this move will ensure a more secure post-retirement life. However, on the other hand, experts argued that the old pension scheme is a burden on the state exchequer, and this shift might put pressure on state finances in the long run. Moreover, this decision has sparked a nationwide debate on the effectiveness and suitability of the National Pension Scheme. It has raised the question of whether a uniform pension scheme is feasible or whether different sectors and individuals require different pension solutions. The decision to switch back to the old pension scheme is a testament to the complexities involved in implementing a one-size-fits-all financial solution. It also underscores the importance of understanding the needs and concerns of the people who will be directly affected by such decisions. After all, a pension scheme is not just about finances, it's about providing security and peace of mind to those who have devoted their lives to public service. Everyone has an opinion, and in matters as important as retirement planning, every voice matters. It's true, isn't it? With all the information we've gone through, you must have formed some thoughts about the National Pension Scheme, and we're eager to hear them. The National Pension Scheme, like any other policy, affects us all in different ways. Maybe you've been a part of it since it started in January 2004, or perhaps you're a government employee who's been transitioned from the old pension scheme, and you have some thoughts on that switch. There's no doubt that the scheme has its merits. It's a step towards greater financial security in our golden years. It encourages us to invest wisely while we're young and able, but we can't ignore its demerits. The concerns about the market-linked returns, the lower annuity rates, and the mandatory annuitization of a portion of the corpus are valid. But what do you think? Is the National Pension Scheme a boon or a bane? How has it impacted your retirement planning? Are you satisfied with its structure and benefits, or do you believe there's room for improvement? And let's not forget about the experiences of those in states like West Bengal, where they've reverted to the old pension scheme. If you're from there or know someone who is, we'd love to hear about that experience too. Your thoughts, your experiences, your concerns, they all matter. They help paint a more comprehensive picture of the National Pension Scheme and its impact on our lives. They give us a chance to learn from one another, to understand different perspectives, and to engage in meaningful discussions. So let's get this conversation started. Share your thoughts in the comments section. Whether you're for or against the National Pension Scheme, whether you're a government employee or a private sector worker, your voice is important. We look forward to hearing your thoughts on the National Pension Scheme. After all, the best discussions often come from diverse perspectives.